Good afternoon, everybody. We'll be joined in just a few moments by student-athletes from the Advancing Florida State Seminoles and their head coach, Leonard Hamilton. As soon as the student-athletes from Florida State arrive down here, that signifies that the Florida State locker room is open. Student-athlete availability will continue there throughout the duration of the entire media session, including while the news conference is taking place. Following Florida State, we'll have the head coach, John Becker from Vermont. We'll have student-athletes Anthony Lamb and Steph Smith. From Florida State, we're expecting Fiondu Kabengele, David Nichols, and Terrence Mann. Don't be afraid to say Fiondu. I'll help you guys out. Just a reminder, during the interviews down here in the main interview room, that you please silence your cell phone. If everybody can take a moment, just take their cell phone out, put that on vibrate or silent. That would be great. No flash photography at all during the interview sessions down here in the main interview room, and no video recording devices at all. That includes professional news cameras, mini cameras, mobile phone cameras as well. Just a reminder that you cannot go live from this room on any social media platform with video during any of the interviews. You're welcome to do that during the other interview portions of the weekend when you have student-athlete availability in the breakouts or the dressing rooms, but not down here in the main interview room. So Leonard Hamilton, Fiondu Kabengele, David Nichols, and Terrence Mann will be first from Florida State, followed by Vermont's head coach John Becker, Anthony Lamb, and Steph Smith. We should be getting started in just a few minutes. And while the interviews are going on down here in the main interview room, just a reminder, the locker rooms are open as well for availability. Any questions so far? Everybody good? All right. Florida State has arrived. The Seminoles locker room is now open. Hey, Coach. How's it going? Congrats. You want to get started or you want to wait for your athletes?
No, I can start.
Okay. Head coach of Florida State, Leonard Hamilton's joined us. We're going to open things up with a statement. Then we'll take questions for Coach while we wait for the student-athletes to come up onto the dais. Coach.
This game felt more like an ACC game than any game that we've played outside of our conference. Nip and Tuck team that's very focused. I thought they had a great game plan. The double and triple team, our big guys inside in the first half. They were extremely well prepared. I thought they would shoot the ball well from the perimeter, but I didn't think they would make 16 threes. But that's why they call it March Madness. You got people going to step up and going to do some things that are extra in order to win games. I thought we did a much better job. I thought defending the second half, than we did the first half. And I thought we got the ball inside a little more and attacked the basket, got to the free throw line, got the ball inside to Fiondu and Chris a few times, and we were able to survive and advance. Not taking anything away, but I thought that Vermont was very well prepared. I thought they did an excellent job of being patient. This first half, we, as aggressive as we were trying to be, they only turned the ball over 2 times. Second half, I think they turned over 13 or 14 times. We got more deflection, more steals, and got some extra possessions, and we were able to come away with a victory. I got several guys that I don't know what David Nichols, how extensive his injury is. Phil Kofor is kind of a day-to-day. He doesn't have anything permanently that's keeping him from playing. Other than it was challenging for him to go 3 straight nights in the ACC tournament. So we felt that he had some swelling, but we've had MRIs and CAT scans, so we feel like we don't have anything that will keep him from playing other than he just needs some rest. Hopefully we'll get those kids back for our game on Saturday. Any questions?
Thank you, Coach. We're going to take questions for the Florida State student-athletes. Fiondu is here, David and Terrence. We'll start in the center of the room to the left with Mike.
Mike Abelson, New Hampshire Union leader. Dave, right here. When you were at Albany, you had plenty of wars against those same guys wearing the green. How personal is it, and how nice does it feel for you to beat them here in the NCAA tournament now with FSU?
I mean, it's no secret. I played them 7 times at Albany, so I was very familiar with them. They're very familiar with me. They definitely had the upper hand at my last school, so it felt good to beat them with the help of these guys around me. And that's just all credit to my teammates and coaches putting together a great game plan and then going out and executing it.
Next question, let's go up front. Just remember your name and media outlet, then your question.
Matt Langoni, little son. Terrence, you're back kind of in your home area here, back in New England. What was that like for you to play here? I'm sure you had some fans here watching. And just how did your mentality change in the second half, scoring wise?
It's amazing playing back at home, especially to be doing it my senior year, my last year, kind of last run in front of everybody. So it's an amazing feeling. And my mentality just changed. I didn't want to lose. You never want to go home, especially it's my senior year, like I said. So I just wanted to score the ball, keep my team involved, and try to win.
Continuing with questions for the Florida State student athletes, let's go to the right side of the room.
Hey, it's Tarika, ESPN Audio. Terrence, talk a little bit about how playing in the tournament before, experience being a senior, as you mentioned, how that played into how you changed your mentality towards the end of the game.
I don't know if it had anything to do with before, playing tournament games. I think that's just being older and a leader on my team, and these guys trust me to be able to do things like that. So having them and knowing they trust me helped me do that.
To the back of the room in the center, Nabate.
Coach Hamilton, Nabate Owls, Bill
Nabate,
Rodell
I'm
on
sorry,
Sports.
We have questions for student athletes during this
sorry
time.
about that.
Do you have one for the student athletes?
Okay, sure. Yeah, absolutely. This is for any of you gentlemen. Defensively in the second half, you were starting to press more, full court and press more and use your length of athleticism. Talk about earlier in the game, how come you guys didn't do that earlier?
David, you want to take that?
I think we did pressure the ball all 40 minutes. That's what we do. They just did a great job of handling that pressure in the first half, executing their stuff. They only had 2 turnovers. We forced them into 14 turnovers in the second half. That's just because we just keep coming at guys with our length and athleticism. We go deep into our bench and try to keep guys fresh. So I think that wear down on them.
Let's go back to the center of the room, left of the aisle. Mike.
Mike Abelson, New Hampshire Union leader again. For Terrence and Fiondu, were you guys surprised at all at their confidence and their shot-making ability, especially in the first half?
Terrence first, please, then Fiondu.
Surprised, no. We knew they could shoot the ball, and they did a great job of it. And it's March, so anything's going in. So they're a real good team, and they can shoot the ball well. So I don't think we were surprised that much by it.
Similar to Terrence, going into film session and scouting on them, we recognize they're a really talented team. Anytime you can win your conference, you must have a lot of talent. So to see the way they shot today, to that degree, it was somewhat surprising because I felt like we played solid defense, but it's March, so it was understandable.
We have time for 1 or 2 more questions for the Florida State student athletes, if there are any. With no more questions, we want to thank Fiondu, David, and Terrence for joining us here in the main interview room. Congrats, guys. They're going to head back to the locker room, take some more questions with their teammates, and we're looking for the first question for Coach Hamilton at this time. Let's go down all the way up front, just to the right of the aisle. Going to use that right-hand microphone.
Hey, Coach, Matt Langoni, little son. Just talk about what Terrence was able to give you in the second half there, and what's it like to have a senior with that kind of experience in crunch time like that?
When Terrence was a freshman, I dubbed him a stat stuffer, and because he affects all phases of the game. Offensively, he was getting tip-ins and putbacks and kind of a dirty work guy as a freshman. He's worked on his game. He's always had a high basketball IQ, could defend, play multiple positions, and he's one of those guys that great teammate. Guys listen to him and they respect him. He does what he's supposed to do on and off the court. So to see him, when he kind of gives us whatever we need in certain games. And the interesting thing about him, he's unselfish almost to the point that if we're winning and we have a margin that we're working on, he very seldom becomes that aggressive. But when we're behind, he takes it to another level. And this is something that we've seen him do consistently night in and night out for us this year.
to the right side of the aisle, midway back.
Coach Chase Nevitt, FSU and Florida Flambeau. You now have 28 wins on the season, the most of any team in school history. What does that mean to you and the team as a whole?
It means that we need to go back and start preparing for the next game. That's what it means. This is part of the journey that we're on, and I've been very fortunate in my career to have been on a lot of good teams, and it means that we're making progress. I feel I'm happy for our team and our staff and the school that we trying to find a way to carve our little niche out of in the hierarchy of college basketball. We're in a conference with the greatest assembly of basketball programs in the history of college basketball. And so for us to be able to continue to keep advancing, we just kind of fitting in with the guys that we compete night in and night out in the ACC. I feel good about it, but hopefully we can continue to keep moving forward, and then we'll evaluate where we are at the end of the season.
Across the aisle, Mike.
Mike Abelson, New Hampshire Union leader. Leonard, despite giving up about 5 or 6 inches in height in almost every position, Vermont won the rebounding battle in the first half, and it wasn't until it seemed like the last 7 or 8 minutes of the game that your team was able to really assert itself in that area. Why do you think Vermont was able to be so good on the glass today?
I think they're a good basketball team with talent, and they box out real well. They're fundamentally sound. And in the game of basketball, sometimes size doesn't necessarily have a whole lot to do with the outcome of games. It might help you if you're a sumo wrestler, but in a basketball game, it's the person who's able to box out and do all the fundamental things. And when you look back over the history of the NCAA, been a lot of teams win games that no one thought they were able to win because they went out and did the things correctly to put themselves in the best position to win. And I think that's what Vermont did tonight. I think that you got to give them credit. I thought they boxed out well. I thought they were extremely physical. They were smart. They put themselves in a position that the game could have gone either way. I thought we exercised our physicality, the quality of our depth, our athleticism and strength there in the second half, getting the ball to Fiondu. I thought he's a little bigger, stronger, and taller. He made some plays. But we had the same guys trying to get the ball inside in the second half as we had in the first half, and they did a very good job of keeping us from getting to the spots on the floor that we wanted to. You got to give them credit. Sometimes it's not as much about what you don't do. You got to give team a credit for doing things the right way, and my hat goes off to them.
Final question for Coach Hamilton, up front to the right, Mike.
Coach Mike Anthony from the Hartford Courant. I know, as you just mentioned, you're going to be focused only on just trying to go out and get the next one. But I'm just wondering, you've had so much success over the years at a few different places. What it would mean to you if you were able to get to a Final Four as a head coach?
Well, in order to get to the Final Four, you got to win the next game. And that's why I want to stay focused and correctly. If I start looking too far ahead, then I won't take advantage of what I can control. And that's going back tonight, debrief from this game, try to analyze the strengths, the things that we did well, correct some of the things that we didn't do well, and start preparing for it. I know it's going to be, whoever we play, it's going to be another game that if you don't play well, you can go home. So I'm trying to keep everything in proper perspective, but thank you anyway, okay?
All right, thanks, and congratulations to Coach Hamilton. Good luck in the next one.
Thank you.
I have a worksheet for you, Phil. So let's get locker rooms are both open at this time for availability We're joined now by the Vermont Catamounts. The head coach, John Becker, making his way up here, as well as student athletes Anthony Lamb and Steph Smith. We'll ask Coach Becker for a few thoughts by way of an opening statement. Then we'll take questions first for the student athletes. Coach.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah. Obviously very difficult when your season comes to an end. And, so it's really hard right now for our guys. And so, but I thought we played really, really hard tonight and really, really battled a very good Florida State team. And, they need to get a lot of credit for how they played, especially in the second half, and probably wore us down a little bit with their size and athleticism, and we had a little stretch there where we missed some free throws and some other stuff to kind of keep us close, but we battled all night, even on the glass in the first half, and I'm really, really proud of this team. And it always hurts when seniors' careers come to an end, like Ernie Duncan and Sammy Dingbud, and so we're really sad for them. But I'm really proud of my team, and I want to thank all the Catamount fans that came down from Vermont and from all over New England and from all over the country. Really, we felt you, we heard you out there, and it meant a lot to us to see all that green and gold out in the crowd tonight. So it was a special experience for our team. And unfortunately, we weren't able to win the game, but we'll take a lot of positives away from the experience.
Questions for the student athletes. If you have a question for Anthony or Steph, raise your hand. Let's start on the right of the aisle. Name and media outlet, then your question.
Austin Danforth, Burlington Free Press. Anthony, you guys are going back and forth with them, first half, early second half. What does that feel like compared to the last, say, 10 minutes when they sort of seized control and started to just keep you guys maybe arm's length away?
I think we just had a couple slip-ups with a really good team. Those are what get you. So you can play with the team the whole game, but if you give a few possessions away, then it becomes a game where you're down by 10, and then you have to scramble at the end of the game. So in order to beat a really good team in Florida State, you have to be able to play 40 minutes, and I think there was like a couple-minute stretch where it just got out of hand for us. So we just had to make up for that next time we play a team like this.
On the left side of the aisle, Mike.
Mike Abelson, New Hampshire Union leader. Steph, 16 made threes for you guys today is a pretty good day shooting. What was clicking so much from beyond the arc, and why was the team so confident right from the get-go to shoot it?
I think it was just, a lot of new guys are on this stage, and, obviously you might be a little bit nervous, but shooting 50% from three at the end of the day is really good, like you said. So that's a positive to take away from the game, but at the end of the day, we didn't get the win, so it doesn't really matter.
All the way to the back on the right side, Matt.
Matt Norlander, CBS Sports. For Steph, getting to this point, getting to the NCAA tournament, you guys played well here. Knowing how much you have coming back next season, if I could ask you to spin this forward, you saw that you competed with a really, really good team for most of this game, and how does that impact your confidence and kind of regrouping as you look toward next season?
Yeah, definitely. This adds a lot of fuel to the fire for next year. I wish we could have got this win for Sam and Ernie, but we got to move on from this now. And moving forward, we're just going to all remember this moment and try to get back here and then rewrite the script.
To the right of the aisle.
Anthony, just how close did it feel when you're out there? When it was close, what did that feel like?
It felt like any other game. There's just different things you have to deal with in playing a really athletic, really tall team. So it's just another part of the game. I think whenever you're within 2 points or 3 points of a team, you're always right there in the game. You're right ready to go. But if you let those plays slip away, then it feels like you're losing ground, and that's where you try to stand up to them. But their athleticism got us a little bit, but we'll find a way next year to bounce back.
To the left of the aisle, Mike.
For Anthony and then Steph, what has it been like playing alongside Ernie these last several years? And what did he bring to the program, and how will the program be different next year with him not wearing green?
We're going to ask Steph to take that first, then Anthony, please.
It's been amazing. Ernie's been like a big brother figure to me. We play similar positions, so I try to learn from him as much as I can, and he's been a great leader for our team as well as Anthony. So it's going to be a big loss for sure, but this is also going to help us, try to avenge this loss and try to get it for him next year.
Anthony.
Yeah, Ernie Duncan is really the heart of Vermont. He's given everything he's had to his program. He's bounced back. He's fought through a lot of things, and it's really important that we try to give everything we can back to him. Even if we couldn't do it now, try to continue to work, continue to develop, and try to push Vermont forward as a program. And just like Sammy and Ernie are great senior leaders that have done everything they can to help us. So it's just on our job to continue to carry the torch forward, and if we can't get it now, do whatever we can to do to get it next time.
Final question for the student athletes.
Bill Murphy, Great Eastern Radio, both athletes. Talk a little bit about, Vermont usually gets shipped a long ways away. They were in Hartford, Connecticut this year. Talk about the venue and how it felt, the crowd, and how much lift it did give you.
Steph first, please, then Anthony.
Yeah, it definitely was a big lift. It was essentially like a home game for us, and the fan support has been great ever since I've been at Vermont, and it's just amazing to see the fans come out and support us, and we just want to try to give back to them.
Anthony.
Yeah, this is a really cool place to play at, and seeing how much support we had for the Vermont Catamounts was unbelievable, and I'm really grateful that we got to play so close, and I'm really grateful for all the people that came out to support, and sorry we couldn't get it done, but I really appreciate everything you guys do for us year out, throughout the whole year.
We'd like to thank Steph and Anthony and congratulate them on a great season. They're going to head back to the locker room, which should still be open for a few more minutes for availability, and we'll take some questions for Coach Becker next. Thanks. Let's start up front with Ken, and then we'll work our way around the room.
John, Ken Davis from Hartford AP. You talked about them wearing you down. When did you start to notice that was happening? And when you're in a situation like that, what can you do to kind of counteract that?
Yeah, I mean, you could just see they started to get to the glass more. I think, when the kids stepped through a triple team and dunked it, it was kind of telling that we were wearing down. And so as a coach, you got to make that decision. You had a lot of guys that played long minutes, but had played and were in the game. And then your bench, where guys are coming in cold late in an NCAA tournament game against a really good ACC opponent. You're kind of trying to figure out, what you can do there. So we tried to do a little offense, defense to get some more size in there defensively, to get some rebounding with Sammy, and then offensively go a little bit smaller so we could spread them out. And we knew we were going to have to make a lot of threes tonight. So, that's one of those things with coaching. You're just trying to find that balance of what's the right thing to do. And then also using timeouts. And timeouts were long tonight, and there was plenty of them. Just trying to motivate your guys and push your guys to just try to dig a little bit deeper. But, our guys played so hard, and they're not as naturally athletic or gifted as your opponent. That can happen. So that's why it's important that we continue to develop depth so that we can play. And they play a lot of guys on top of it. So it's like a double whammy. And so we got to develop depth and have 9, 10, 11 guys that can come in and all play, play in this game. And so that'll be something that we'll work on in recruiting and just developing. We're a young team. We have a lot of young guys, so we just have to continue to develop them. Bodies have to mature and everything. So we're hopeful that we'll be able to do that this offseason.
To the left of the aisle, Mike.
Mike Abelson, New Hampshire Union leader. John, what did you say to Ernie when you gave him that hug right at the end of the game? And then can you expound and say kind of what he's meant to the program, especially being a part of it for half a decade?
Yeah, I just told him I loved him and just gave him a hug. And he's meant a lot to this program. He's a big recruit for us when he came out of high school. He's kind of the guy, the connector that, enabled us to recruit a lot of Midwestern kids. We have a lot of kids from Indiana in the Midwest, and Ernie's reputation and, relationships with other players out there was a big reason we're able to get a lot of these guys that have helped build this program and propel this program forward. And obviously battled a back injury as a freshman, and and then had an incredible career. When you sit back and start to look at the numbers, he's going to go down as one of the greatest catamounts to ever play. And he's just the nicest kid, and obviously we've seen some of the stuff recently that he's kind of come forward with and he's dealt with in the last couple years, and it's he's an inspiration to a lot of kids and a lot of people in general, and I give him a lot of credit for being that courageous and honest as he is about things, and so he's going to be really missed, and you don't replace guys like that. You just hope to find new guys with similar type of character traits, and we have a locker room full of guys I think are going to step up and become leaders for his team next year and beyond.
We have time for one or two more for Coach Becker to the right.
John, how close was that first half to the script you guys, the way you wanted it to go?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the whole game, for the most part, we knew we're going to need to make a lot of threes. We're 16 for 32, so you can't do it much better than that. We knew we had to rebound the ball, and we did that. Even if you take the second half numbers, they out-rebounded us by 6, which is wasn't bad. It's the free throw line. Both ways hurt us. We put them there too much. We didn't convert on our opportunities well enough, and so those are things. That's probably where the rub was. But we fought like hell. We had a chance right down to the end, and we played a full 40 minutes. And that's the thing. Kansas, Louisville, similar type things. We played well in all of these high major games. And like I've said for the last couple of years, we've played these games. There's not gimmicks. We're not, expecting needing a horrible game by our opponent and playing zone and doing stuff we don't normally do. We play Vermont basketball. We try to go toe-to-toe with these teams. And right now, they have a better athlete and in some cases, some better players. But my job is to continue to close that gap and see if we can, take another step.
One final one, Ken.
John, you had kind of a unique situation with 3 brothers on this team. Can you just kind of, looking back now at the end of the year, kind of recap what that experience was like for you as a coach? Yeah, it was a really cool thing, and it wasn't a lot of work on my end. Those kids are great kids, and they managed each other really well and are very, very close, and played a lot of basketball together. So a couple times I had to break up an argument and send them to their room, so to speak. But for the most part, they were a joy to coach and really easy. But it really hit me after we won the championship on Saturday, and America East TV, I believe, did an interview with them, and you just saw the happiness and the love they had for one another, and it hit me at that point like, wow, how cool would this be to do this kind of thing with your brother, and I have 2 brothers, and it would be, and so for them, I think the last week has just been a dream probably for them, and I'm glad that we could help make that come true.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.